Okay, welcome. My name is Thomas Dubois, and we are with VCU Business Connections, and this is a PowerPoint on putting into practice strategies for building workplace conversational skills at home. Again, my name is Thomas Dubois. This is my son, Caleb, and we have Candace with us.
Hi, everyone. I'm Candace Elliott. And again, we're here today to discuss putting it into practice, talking about some strategies for building workplace conversational skills while we're at home. So why do we want to work on these things? Workplace conversational skills can essentially help make or break our relationships with our supervisors, our coworkers, customers, any or all of the above. So we want to continue to build these strong relationships, build rapport with the people we're working with and the people we come into contact every day. We want to fine-tune those communication skills, make sure our greetings are certainly appropriate, and our interactions at the workplace are, sorry.
Appropriate?
Yeah.
Yes, that one. All right, keep going. You're doing great.
We also want to learn and apply these workplace social rules at home. We want to work on these things with our family members and our friends in order to practice, right? Practice helps us all, make things perfect, if you will. So while we're in the situation we're in, working from home and we can't get out into the regular workplace, we can still continue to work on these skills and keep our confidence and self-esteem up when we do return to the workplace. It'll help us certainly find new employment and certainly keep current employment that we do have. So one way that we can work on these conversational skills and practice, the most effective way, is using something called behavioral skills training. So it's a 4-step process, and the 4 steps are listed here. So using each one will help us both model, give feedback, and practice most effectively. So when we start with behavioral skills training, the first thing we want to do is introduce the conversation, right? So we want to describe what we're doing, with the person we're practicing with. Okay, here's what's going to happen, and explain how it's going to work up front. Second, we want to model what we're going to be practicing. So we want to show them how we're going to perform this skill. We want to show them what the conversation is going to look like first, maybe practice with another family member so they can see firsthand what it's going to look like. We want to have a successful model for them so that way when we move to step 3 and we practice with them, they're set up for success and they know what is expected of them during this practice. Number 4, of course, is most important, and that's feedback. And we like to use what we call the sandwich method when we give our feedback. So we want it to be both specific, certainly overall positive, but definitely constructive. So when we start with the sandwich method, we want to start first with something, positive. Hey, I love how you, made eye contact with me when you greeted me, for example. Something specific that they can pinpoint that they did well. Second, we want to give them something to improve upon. Certainly don't deliver the feedback negatively, but say, hey, maybe next time you could try, shaking my hand or something when we leave, or, something to that effect. Something for them to specifically work on next time. And last, the last piece of the sandwich there, again, follow up with something positive. Hey, overall, I love, that you asked me about, what I was doing this weekend. Overall, it was a great conversation. Something, specific that they did, again, to, boost their confidence and their self-esteem with these skills. So now we're going to practice talking with, here in this scenario, we're going to practice having a conversation with a coworker. So Tommy, I'm going to give it to you and Caleb, so you can show us how this is done.
All right. So for the modeling portion, Caleb and I have already rehearsed. So basically what it's going to look like is I'm going to stand over here and pretend like I'm working. Caleb's going to enter the room and we're going to have a short conversation, and then he's going to go right back to work. All right, so he has his little script here. and we're going to practice.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. How's it going?
Did you watch the game last night?
No, I didn't get to watch it.
I really thought Green Bay would win this week.
Yeah, they're a pretty good team. They probably should have won.
Okay, I need to get back to work.
All right, man. Have a good day.
You too.
All right. So that was our short and to the point conversation while having a brief conversation with coworkers at work, but still being productive. All right, so we're going to go into the feedback portion. So Caleb, you did really well. You came up to me and got my attention. You stood where I could see you. All right. And you started a conversation. You asked me how I was going. All right. And then you waited and listened for me to answer. And then you asked another question and we had a little short conversation. And then you did what you're supposed to, is get back to work. So very good on that. How was his volume? Could you hear him okay, Candace?
I could. Maybe that would be something to improve upon next time. Maybe a little bit louder.
Maybe just speak up a little bit. Stop being so nervous. All right. And then, like I said, overall, it was a great conversation. It was short, to the point, and you got right back to work. So very good on that. All right.
So other skills that we can certainly practice besides that example there is, working on conversational skills, whether, the person is assisting a customer, someone from the public coming in, or working on ways to ask for help at work. It's certainly a situation we all find ourselves in, asking others for help, whether it's a coworker or our supervisor or both. These are all, really relevant situations that you can kind of role play, just like Tommy and Caleb did there, while we're at home here. We can find these resources. VCU has compiled all of these together on our Business Connections page at this link here. So Business Connections under the COVID-19 section. So all these resources, including some practice scripts and materials that you can use at home, will be listed here for you. And here are our references, of course, both for our behavior modifications, so the behavioral skills training and procedures where we got those materials, that's listed here. And that was putting it into practice.
All right. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen now. All right, so again, thank y'all, and hopefully this works well for y'all and y'all can practice at home with your young adults and improve their social skills while at work. Thank you, Candace.
Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Caleb.